Good morning, Year 5. So today you are going to write paragraphs 3 and 4 of your myth. So let's just recap what we need to include in these two paragraphs. So yesterday, paragraph 2 was the build-up, the characters going on some journey to defeat some kind of enemy. So paragraph 3, you actually practiced this on Monday, so I'm hoping that this won't be too tricky. You might just need to do a bit of editing and improving, but you might be able to keep a lot of what you did on Monday. So this is where you sort of build the suspense and your character is starting to confront some kind of monster, but the action hasn't quite happened yet. So you need to describe where the hero gets to. Is it the cave, the dungeon, the castle? In Theseus and the Minotaur, it was the labyrinth. You need to build up the tension and suspense, okay? So you want to sort of create a frightening atmosphere. We need to describe the monster in detail. So you'll need to use ENPs, short sentences, empty words, similes and metaphors for the description, won't you? Okay. And then paragraph 4 is the action, but we'll come to that in a moment. So what I've done today is I've actually taken someone's writing from Monday. This was from Ben. I thought it was really, really good what he did. So I'm going to just show you what he wrote, and we'll talk about some of the language features he's used as a reminder of what you could be doing. Obviously, you won't steal this completely, but it's a reminder of the kind of language you could be using. So, this is Ben's paragraph 3. Prince Benius and his men started to climb the colossal, jagged mountain. So we've got there an ENP, haven't we? Let's underline these bits. Let's do that in red. The colossal, jagged mountain. So, adjective, noun. It's ENP. Expanded noun phrase. When they nearly reach the top, so we've got a fronted adverbial there, tells you where they are. It's often good to start with a fronted adverbial. Suddenly, an echo rumbled like a sonic boom, causing boulders above to come crashing down all around them. Now, it wasn't one of the things I asked you to use, but I've noticed he's used some onomatopoeia, crashing. It's the sound it makes, isn't it? We used that earlier this year. And we've got a simile in there as well, haven't we? Like a sonic boom. Most of the men got hit, but luckily, brave, fearless Prince Benius, another expanded noun phrase, and this tells us about his character, doesn't it? Okay, we're learning that he's brave and fearless. Kept going and finally reached the mountaintop. All of a sudden, right, I can see what Ben is doing here. He's quickening the pace of the story. Okay, so he's speeding it up with a fronted adverbial all of a sudden. Another loud rumble shook the ground from under Benius. His shield in one hand and a sword in the other. Oh, I love that. Okay, that tells us how he's stepping forward, another really powerful fronted adverbial. He started to creep closer and closer until a blaze of red, hot fire engulfed him. Right, I think he's used a really lovely, powerful verb there. Okay, fire engulfed him, it means it surrounded him. Using the shield Poseidon gave him, so he's bringing in one of the gods there, I like that. It saved Benius from burning to death. Then the flames died down, just enough for the Nestor, and I think that must be the monster, to reveal itself. Okay, so here Ben's going to do some description. Its eyes as red as the fire it breathed out. So we've got a simile here, haven't we? Its eyes, I'd say, were as red as the fire it breathed out. Its gigantic, monstrous body, another ENP there, expanded noun phrase, and two beastly heads peered over him. Its teeth were daggers. Okay, its teeth were daggers, that's a metaphor. It's not saying the teeth were like daggers, it's saying they were daggers. Not literally, but that's how we use a metaphor. Its scaly, rock-hard skin, another ENP there, lots of description. Or I'd say it had scaly, rock-hard skin. Nestor was guarding its shimmering golden eggs. It opened up its bat-like wings. Now, Ben, I'm just going to make a note of this. Ben's used an apostrophe here. We don't need one there because that would mean it opened up its bat-like wings. I know you're using it for possession there, but we only use apostrophe S when it means it is, so we don't need the apostrophe there. It opened up its bat-like wings. Benius took a deep breath. He knew what he needed to do. Okay, right, I like that. Ben could even have put an ellipsis there, ... because he's sort of leading us to the next paragraph, isn't he? We're making us want to read on. So really, really good, Ben. The only thing I'd say is he didn't use many of the short sentences, really, just at the first part of this paragraph. So you could use short sentences and empty words to just create that tension. So Benius stepped forward. Silence. Okay, that kind of thing. It just helps to build the tension. But really, really good that. Well done, Ben. Right, paragraph 4 is the action paragraph, isn't it? So we practiced this the other day on Tuesday. So in this paragraph, your hero defeats their enemy. This should be the most exciting paragraph of the story. Look back to Tuesday's planning for help with this. So remember to use powerful verbs, sentence of 3. We practiced those the other day. And I've added here adverbs because they really help when we're doing an action sequence. So I've added those. We didn't have them at the beginning, but I think we could try throwing some of those in as well. So I'll read this to you. Let's see what we can spot here, shall we? Okay. With an almighty roar, the Minotaur charged at Theseus. So we've got a nice, powerful verb there. Thinking quickly. That's the fronted adverbial, isn't it? Theseus darted, precise verb, to the side and dodged the monster's swinging axe. Okay? Dodged, darted, charged. You see all these nice powerful verbs. Theseus lunged at the Minotaur with his glistening sword, but his weapon just scratched the creature. So that tells you what kind of injury he gave him. Just a scratch. The beast swung wildly. Okay, here we've got an adverb. Okay, so it describes how the beast swung. So he's swinging his sword. He swung his sword, but how did he do it? He did it wildly. Theseus parried with his sword. Parry means to block. So that's another precise verb. But the monster knocked the weapon out of his hand. Unarmed and with blood pouring from his fighting arm. Now that is a fronted adverbial, isn't it? Saying how he was. Theseus cowered in a corner. Okay, so he's terrified by this point as the Minotaur approached, ready to finish him off. That's a nice precise verb there. With one last surge of energy, another fronted adverbial, Theseus leapt over the beast, seized his sword, and plunged it mercilessly into the Minotaur's back. Okay, now that is one of those, that's a sentence of 3, isn't it? He does 3 things in one sentence just to speed up the action. Theseus leapt over the beast, that's 1. Seized his sword, that's 2. And plunged it mercilessly into the Minotaur's back. That's the 3rd thing he does. And we've also got an adverb there, haven't we? The monster of Minos stared blankly as the life drained from him. Say as life drained from him. Okay, so that's an example of an action sequence. It's basically a fight scene, isn't it? And then we'll get to paragraph 5 tomorrow. So, have a good go at that. Keep checking your writing as you go along, and keep checking that you're including these features, okay? Make it sound exciting. Right, good luck. I look forward to reading your bits of writing later. Bye-bye.